Long day lay me low. I don't know if anyone knew this, but I like Phil and Song. Anyway, there's a lot of Phil in the intro. We like it, but determination. And no one is more determined than my guest today. Why does my phone go off right when I go live? Because he's determined. But before we get to him, we're going to get to our wonderful, lovely co-host, the great Angela Curry. How's it going, Angela?
It's going well. How are you doing this afternoon?
Evening, afternoon, sunset, daylight, waste your lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
So
that 1 hour.
And before we bring him in, we know Lepresti. Angela and I both love. So does Hocky. Love Aaron Lepresti. And he'll be streaming in a half hour. So bounce back and forth if you will. We normally do these earlier, but because of the daylight savings time and because this man has to live in a different country, we had to push it to 5:30. But we do things for our friends. And speaking of our friends, we got the great Hocky.
Hey, g'day everyone, I'm Hocky, the ad hoc artist, the most dapper man in comics, as it says right down there. Look at that, most dapper man in comics. Yeah.
That's right.
That Jason hates. He hates these little words underneath.
I don't have it turned. You actually no, I don't have it. Wow, you have yours. I don't have mine turned on. I don't like that crap. It's stupid. It's like you got my info here. You don't need a subtitle for my title. It's like, what is this? A sequel to a movie?
No.
You don't need it. It's ridiculous. Like, people don't use it for anything, and it's smaller than what this is. So if you have bad vision, like me,
it's kind of annoying.
You can't see it. But yeah, we got Hocky. Hocky's been on sabbatical for a while.
I'm gonna
burp because I've been drinking this.
I just wanted a bit of space away from the Twitter and the YouTubes, just to. I don't know, refresh my brain and get away from certain people every now and then, and throw myself into other people's problems. Yeah, and no, I just want to have a break. I really did. Yeah. So now I'm back, and
this is your debut, and
first show back. So.
Yeah, and with your debut, we have a great chat going on up in there. And Angela is my co-host, and she's under the weather, so she's gonna do her best. But we're gonna say hi to the chat. We got who we got here? We got
Alex.
I got Alex VRB. We got who is it? The great Baba Ganoush. Like, share, and subscribe, everybody. By the way, I forget to say it all the time.
Bird. The bird's the word.
We got the bird up in here. Welcome. I see Hocky's in the chat because why not?
I am. Matt.
You are.
G'day, Matt. Good to see you.
Matt. Hey, what's going on, Kevlar? How you doing? Good to see you. Good on you, mate, as our lovely guest likes to say.
On ya.
And we have the wonderful Pedro in the chat. How you doing,
Pedro is here. The animator extraordinaire that he is.
He is indeed. Yeah, he did the animation for Frog G trailer. Links in the description below, by the way. Yeah. And Hocky,
he's got he's got a course coming up too. So keep an eye on Pedro.
Do you want us to promote Pedro today, Hocky?
I just wanted to...
Are we going to talk about let's just talk about Pedro. How about that? I mean, he's a great guy. We'll talk about Pedro the entire time because
let's just send Pedro the link.
There we go. I'm gonna kick Hocky and I'm gonna send Pedro the link.
Thanks everyone. See ya.
Hey.
Welcome to his debut back. Bye, Hocky.
As I say, Flying Feline's in the chat, and so is Just Clubman.
Hey, Flying Feline.
Hey, Hen and Feline. Cilantros and skulls to everybody. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Angela. Yes, do that. Yes, tell me who's in the chat.
They will butt in.
Butt in. Yes, cut me off. You're allowed. Only you, though. Hocky
to the British lady. I have my tea. Cheers to you.
Tea. Get out of here, you un-American swine.
I'm actually drinking British tea myself right now.
You're American, though.
Yorkshire tea is the best tea ever. So that's all. That's my
Hocky, are you British?
I'm Australian. So
I know.
Can I just say, Hocky, the first time I saw you on a stream, I think it was with Fragaboom, I really did think you were British. And then the more
I dress like an old British man,
you do, and And then you started. The more you talked, the more I was like, I don't think he's British.
Yeah,
I just don't think he's British. He sounds a little hoppity, a little Rui.
By Jingoes, by crikey.
Yeah, we see Frege every now and then. We miss hanging out with him, but we know he's busy. So one day
I
maybe
missed
he'll
on the
grace
show with
us.
Frege. I really enjoyed that. So, but he's busy. Well, hopefully he'll have. Let's promote Frege. Frege's going to have a book out very soon.
We might as well. Black Flag's a great book, dude. I mean, Frege did some artwork for Absolute Book 1. Angela had to go.
I'm not going to do that again.
No, you're fine.
I have power. And I can remove myself whenever I want.
Well, yeah. And like Hocky, you hung out with Frege, as we said. I actually, used to hang out with Frege back in the day. We all kind of were connected in that regard. It's really pretty nice. Yeah. Our little circle that we have, as people may not know, I am friends with Hocky, so this is kind of friend helping a friend. But also, Hocky's a great artist in his own right. He's on Frog G campaign. You have a card on Frog G. Yeah.
I do have a card, which I love drawing. It was so much fun to draw that.
It turned out great.
Card. So
yeah, you've been leveling up. How long have you been like doing artwork off and on? You've been like since a little kid, or is it just like something in a new endeavor?
It's yes and no. So yes, I did start drawing when I was younger, like in primary school. I would draw cartoons. So I would draw like Garfield and from Mad Magazine. So I used to draw a lot when I was younger, but when I sort of finished high school, I didn't do as much. It was sort of piecemeal. Every now and then, I'll pull out the sketchbook and I'll do a picture. Maybe spend a couple of hours drawing a picture and such. But it was really piecemeal. Every now and then I'd do stuff. When I went to university, I did a computer course. However, when I was in Darwin, I did 1 year in Darwin, and I did one of my subjects I picked was illustration. And so that was a lot of fun. So I got to do that. Came here, still didn't really do too much. And it wasn't until, I would say, it was about 5 years ago, I was losing my job at I was working at the university here. I was losing my job, and I was really keen to get back into drawing. And I said to my friend, hey, do you want to do a webcomic? And he goes, yes, because he was in the same boat. He was losing his job. We thought, oh, maybe we could do this. Maybe it'll make money. Who knows? So we started this webcomic, and from that, it just sort of it got me back into drawing again. And I was drawing, and then I thought, okay, I've got to change it up. I started to learn more like structure, things like that, and and now this is where I'm at. So,
this is where you are. By the way, we are streaming to Facebook, so if you're over there, please like us and leave comments. Angela can see them too in StreamYard, and we'll highlight those. So you lost the university thing probably because of COVID or something, I'm assuming, with the layoffs and all that crap going on.
It was before the COVID. Okay. So I was in.
You don't have to get too personal into it if you don't want. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I was contracted, and they had a big restructure within the department, and I didn't get the job back. So because I was only on a contract.
Those crikey blokes. I don't know. I butchered.
I was upset about it, but I just realized the other day. Now it's a little bit emotional, but I just realized the other day that allowed me to work with my friend, and my friend passed away 2 years ago.
Oh,
so it allowed me to spend to have those last few years with him, and
that's good then.
So he had something similar to you, Jason. So that's why so he had kidney problems and things like that too. So
yeah, it's unfortunate, man. A lot of the people in the world do, and actually we know somebody also in the CG circles who's had family pass away because of it as well. So it sucks, man, and I'm sorry to hear. But like you said, you got to spend time with them. That's fantastic,
which was absolutely amazing. So I'm missing dearly, but I'm so glad I got to do a project with him for those last few years. So,
and that's why I always say family and friends, that they come first, because you never know what's going to happen in life, and you'll treasure those moments, even if you're like, oh, I didn't draw a page today, but I did get to hang out with like my cousin who's now no longer here. You know what I mean? So like it's like, which would I rather have, those memories or some ink that I could put on paper later anyway?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's why I always say family and friends first. And like you and me, we both work and we have jobs outside of our job of drawing. So like, because it is a job. So like, I know a lot of people don't view it as one. So it consumes all that. So when you're hanging out with family and friends, and then you got your full-time job, it's not a side hustle, but it is a second job that does kind of get put on the back burner.
Yeah.
But with your pre-launch, and as you know, you got pages to do, you still got to get them out for the fans and for the people that are going to back you later on. Yeah. So, and now what was like, and this question gets asked around quite a lot, and I ask it too, what was like your first comic? Do you remember your first comic book? Like what got you into that? Because comics is a weird little niche. Like it's like not something everybody gets into. So like, what was your foray into that? And what was maybe your first one you can remember?
I can't remember specifics. I remember
kick hockey.
My memory is
kidding hockey. Not everybody remembers.
I do remember when. So I grew up in country town that we didn't have much opportunity for comics. I remember when we'd go on holidays with my folks, I might be able to pick up a comic somewhere. I used to like to get the Marvel What Ifs. I liked those. I thought they were a bit of fun. Or they were in show bags. I'd get a show bag from the show and things. Anyway, and they'd have a comic in it. Really wasn't until Batman 89 came out that I fell in love with Batman. I probably really liked him, but after seeing that movie, I fell in love with him. Yeah. So I started collecting Batman, and I started collecting Catwoman, and I didn't get. I think it was mainly in the Batman family that I was following. So, unfortunately, I've moved. I don't know where any of those comics are. My mum did send me some stuff. I was collecting some X-Files comics, and I've got X-Files comics. Yeah. But so it was. I would say, it would be Batman that started off that train. Then I stopped for a while. I'd maybe pick up a trade every now and then, and and now here I am.
So was it because of comics though that got you into like, I want to draw these? These are really cool, or was it just mainly a hobby and you realized, hey, I kind of have a little bit of a skill here, and maybe I can get into this?
It was. I always liked the style. Like one of my inspirations, or probably not so much. I didn't really know about this person, which I'll show that off if people want to see it. It was just David Finch, but it was actually Jim Lee, and I was in love with Jim Lee artwork for the longest time. So, so he was kind of an inspiration for me to get into it, and but I didn't do the thing of copying other artists at that stage.
Right.
So I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't do it. And it kind of, as I say, in the last few years, things are just sort of going, I really like drawing. I really like comics. I love the medium. I think it's a really cool medium. So, and the style, the art style, like Jim Lee and David Finch and all that type of stuff. I love that style. And I thought, I'll try that.
Right.
So it's kind of all over the place, but we got Shelby's here.
Yo, what's going on, Shelby? But you're
I haven't seen Shelby for like a donkey's age. So
Shelby hangs out with other donkeys. Like, go ahead, Angela.
I just said hey to Shelby.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Shelby. Say hi to Shelby. Shelby hangs out with other donkeys like Lord Crackhead and Phil Diaz. He's too highbrow for you and me now.
He is too highbrow.
I love you, Shelby.
I mean, he graced us with his presence. So
He did.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes, and we'll get to the pre-launch in a bit. But Hockey's been in now. And you, like you said, you got the Batmans and stuff, and you were inspired by initially like Jim Lee maybe kicked the fires a little bit there and ignited things. So
Yeah,
hail Rick Saylor, what's going on, brother?
Rick Saylor's here and Matt Barr.
Hail Matt Barr, the great Barr.
See them.
Good to see my
Thank
friends
you
up in
guys
the chat.
for joining.
Yeah. And so, Alex VRB, what's up, man? So like Jim Lee, like growing up with you as you as well. Like, I mean, I started late '80s, and then like the '90s really are influenced by a lot of us. We're 42-year-old white boys, you know what I mean? Like that's this cliche of this crowdfunding comics gate indie comic scene. But we're all varied in ages actually. Like we have young Noah who's 18 years old now, who's been in the scene, and he's been influenced by the same cats we have. There's just something that there was a weird magic that happened in those 90s that just like it wasn't as much as like great story, like you don't have the Claremonts really as big or anything like that, but you had great like just bombastical artwork, and it was stylized, and the anatomy was everywhere. Now with your stuff though, what I like about your stuff is, and I don't know if you see it, but I see a little bit of Bruce Timm in there from Batman animated series. It's very clean. It's very tight. You're good. You focus on anatomy quite a bit, and you're actually kind of a stickler for what in that, and what contributes to that. Like what did you do to get to that level, as to where you're more of a cleaner style, I would say?
It's probably just I'm always sitting down trying to draw, like always learning. So I'm always learning. So I sit down and like after this, I'll probably sit down and do some anatomy studies because. I was studying the elbow the other day because I was going, you know what, I don't draw arms very well. I was studying the muscles underneath the arms. And I was going, what are these muscles again? So it's kind of a weird feeling because I never thought I wanted to do that when I was, back before I was drawing all the time. Right. I'm just going, I don't really want to do this study stuff because that'll change my brain. And I'm just going, too technical. Now I'm doing it. I'm going, whoa, what's that? Oh yeah, where's that go? Where's that muscle go? It just changed everything. And I'm just going, this is fantastic. So I think with that's just, I just wanted to make it look okay. So that's my best thing. And I get a bit stickler when I see something. And when I'm drawing it, sometimes I'm just going, I don't see it, but later on, or I'll post it up and I was going, oh, that arm is whacked. I just can't. I can't deal with that. I drew one a little while ago that of Chung Lee, and I've gone, as I'm drawing, it looks fine. I posted it up on, and then I'm just going, oh, her shins are like half the length they should be. I was going, they look terrible. I was going, oh well,
Well, we are our own worst critics. You know what I mean? Like I draw plenty of things, and I've seen you do this too. Where like I'll draw plenty of things, and what's
Mighty
going
Magic's in house.
Mighty Magic, thank you. I saw Mighty. I was hard to meet. What's going on, Mighty Magic? It's good to see him in the chats. So I'll draw things, and like later on, I'll see them, and I'll just rip them up. People yell at me, and I've seen you do this too. And you work digitally primarily, and I've seen you just totally erase things. You just nuke them, and I'm like, no, dude, it looked great. And you're like, no, I hated it. But we are our own worst enemies, our own worst
Shelby
critics.
told me to do it. So.
Don't listen to Shelby. Shelby's like me. 98% of the time it's a joke, and the other 2% of the time it's a joke. So it's we like to have fun, but if that's what I like about hanging out with who we hang out with, and the artists and the creators, the writers, and all of them. Like we have a sense of humor, but when it comes time to get down to the brass tacks, we might be like, yo, man, yeah, it is, but you need that biceps way off, dude. Like we will be serious about something, but.
I'll happily tell. Like, even Billy. So Billy Basco. Amazing. He's an amazing artist, and he's offered to help me with a few things, but I've called him out on a couple of things too. So, and he's happy to do that. If something's stupid and looks horrible, I do want to be told. So,
and that's the thing. You have a campaign that's going to launch. Like you're in competition with Frog G. Like you have people that might back your book over my book. I might want your backers, but I also want you to get them too. So we kind of are like helping each other out, even though we're still in competition with one another because we want to succeed.
Yeah.
We want to see not only our friends, but even people that we may not like. We want them to succeed. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
We want just good stuff
Yeah.
to be out there. And
People
you got to separate the person from the art anyway. Like there's plenty of mainstream artists that I just don't like. I'll still buy their stuff because I like the way their artwork or their writing. Like John Byrne, everybody knows John Byrne is not the nicest guy on the planet. I will buy John Byrne stuff though. I love his artwork, you know. So, and what do you think nowadays is like something that you like, either whether it be mainstream or indie or something like? What styles do you kind of gravitate to, and do they even influence how you do your work today?
I would say I'm not. It's kind of hard because you look at my drawings and they're nothing like what Jim Lee or Finch. You know that when you look at Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri and all that, they all have very similar style. Like you might go, yeah, that's Jim Lee and that's David Finch, but when you sort of put it down, just going, a lot of the structure is very similar. And I would say I don't go towards that direction anymore. If I was to really put myself and want to do something, it's probably the European style. I don't know. I know Bancroft talks about that too. His style, he wants to go like that. But there's something about an artist that I've been following on YouTube called Tim McBurney. He's an artist. Okay. He's been working in the industry for 25 years, and he does the European stuff. And I really like the way that he structures stuff. So he's got just this beautiful colors that he uses. I would say him and look at who else? I just like the different, especially stories as well. I like stories that are different than the mainstream. That will tell an odd story, or that might just be a different take. When I know that Luke did a Do You Even Read a little while ago. Death Metal Hero, about rising stars. Now it is a superhero story, but it's so different because it's this weird dynamic and murders happening and all this type of stuff. We're going, that really appeals to me because I like that twist. I like, you get a normal story and then let's twist it, let's change it. So
So, well, and then speaking of which, like when it comes to stories, like you like you said, you like the different kind of variation stuff. And I've heard a few of your ideas because we hang out. So you're not huge into telling superhero stories, but you still like the superhero stories.
Yes, I still love Batman. And well, when it comes to traditional stuff, I'd rather that stay as is. But if you're creating something new, I do like I actually read this story to Jason, the working script that I've got, and it's not something that you would see in a comic. It's kind of it's hard to explain, but it's really different to
I mean, well, we'll get into that, but like you have several ideas under your helm, and so what would you say is the biggest struggle into getting some of these to fruition? Because you've had some of these for quite some time. So what would you say is like a big hurdle to overcome? Yo, what's up, Sue?
Myself. That's really it. Like everyone, I look at my art and go, I'm still not ready. So I still look at even the stuff that you've got up. I'm going, I like it, but I still think it can be better. So I still say I'm not ready for it. And then so sitting down and actually doing it. So for this, I really had to force myself to get that script going, and I'm forcing myself to draw it. And there's still a lot of stuff that I need to learn. I thought, no, I've got to do it. So I think just getting that motivation, and that's one of the hardest things to do. I've got a couple other stories that I do have in the works, and I'm waiting on. They're not being written by me, so
What's up,
so
Yeah.
and I really want those other stories to be big as well. I really want those those to be like a really big one. So, and to really show off what I can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm really, I don't know.
Well, like you said,
I'm rambling.
You are right. What would you say? You are your own biggest hurdle, and I think that actually is a good. That's kind of a way I think a lot of like, especially new like how I was when I first got in, like my first campaign, I was nervous as all get out. And I mean, I still am anytime I hit that launch button, but you kind of get more comfortable. And I do like what you say, like you're not like this is good, but it can be better. I think that mindset you're learning new things. Like what everything I produce is good, and like I love it at the time maybe, but we can always learn more. We can always do more. As artists, I don't think you want to stagnate. You don't like you can get into a comfortable style and you can float and drift and be all decent with it. What's he saying, Angela?
I have no idea. You have to execute that voice, Hocky. It never really goes away.
Hey, yeah, it's good advice. So you have to, get rid of the I can't do this and like just plunge into it. But I think to stagnate is like you want to grow. Like you can, like there's plenty of, like if you look at like Jim Lee, I love his stuff. Don't get me wrong, but he's settled in his style. Like he knows what works for him. Like you had Death Blow and like he did try different things, and then that was exciting. It may not be his best stuff or here and there, but it's still trying new endeavors and expanding your mind and your horizons and your techniques. And I think as artists, we definitely need to do that. Look at Ink Spots. I mean, he can do. He's constantly trying new ways and techniques and like learning and taking classes and trying to do different coloring techniques and drawing and pen and ink. He's always expanding bars, always doing new things, and just like he could do it's. Who we hang out with, I think, is probably the best people to hang out with because they're always pushing their limits. Look at Dan Plagle, always trying new ways and pushing forward, and that's what we do. And like you're launching your book now, and you've been very nervous about doing a campaign, and it's great to see you up there and out there. And I think you're smart in doing an IP. This is your first IP, it's your first foray, and it's kind of like a dipping your toe into the pool. Like you've developed it. You worked it out, but it's not like your main one. Like I know what one of your main ones is, and this is kind of like a little like, hey, here I am. I can do storyboarding, storytelling, and I can illustrate. I can tell an interesting, dynamic, or even engaging tale, and get you deep into it. And as a reader, you want that. So, like, what have you looked at as far as like storytelling goes and panel layouts? Like, how did you get your technique down for that? Like, what did you focus on? Was it movies? Was it comics? Like, what got you?
A little bit of both, I would say. So, in regards for storytelling, because again, I've read a lot of books and looked at a lot of different things. To help me sort of over
any books you can maybe recommend
as a comic, like Scott McCloud, his stuff, and other Will Eisner as well, his stuff. So I kind of look at stuff like that to say, okay, how did they do it? Or if I just see some panels in a book and just going, I really like what they've done there. Now I'm going to give some credit to Dean James, who put up a page
Comics Mate.
Probably a couple of months ago, where he's got a car busting through some glass.
Oh yes, the Embrace 2.
And each glass has a different shot in it. Like that's amazing style to do. So he's done really well with creating that look, and I really like stuff like that. I'm hoping to incorporate some of that into my work. Whether I pull it off and it works, but I think in some regards it just sort of makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it's because of reading a lot of things and watching a lot of movies and reading a lot of comics over time. It may not coming natural, but a lot of it kind of makes sense because I've seen it happen for so long. So. Yeah, I don't know. It might not be, I may not be as good as what I think I am, I'm probably not. Well, I'm very much doubt that I am, but
I mean, you'll find out because, like I said, this is your first venture into a comic. What are some of your movie influences? Like, what inspires you?
I really like short stories.
Yeah, cheers, Dean, Alex.
But movies, it's really because I love a lot of different things. So it's kind of weird. Ghostbusters is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But then, I might like even some movies that may not have hit off too well. I just keep thinking of Valerian for some reason. I don't know why. But it was a bit of a flop, that movie. But it had elements in it. I'm just going, well, it's based on a comic book anyway. And I was going...
Was that the French? Based on a French comic book?
It is. And I've read the first one of the French one. It is a weird comic as well. So... but no, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other... Like, I'll watch most things. Like Disney cartoons or things like that, or anything. Not so much drama or... It's kind of weird because I do like thrillers, but I don't watch enough anymore. I used to watch horrors and thrillers, but I think nowadays I'm more... When I watch stuff, I'm more into sci-fi, action, which is totally different to what this comic is. So it's kind of...
Yeah, but this... Like, what... Okay, I mean, you have this book, and it is very different from the sci-fi stuff, so obviously you're into many different styles and storytelling and stuff like that. So why something this offbeat then? Because it's a little offbeat, So why this? What made you be like, okay, this is the one? Because you have a few ideas, and I know your baby is your baby. I know what's going on with that one. But why this one?
Why this one? Well, it's kind of a whirlwind tour, this one. So yes, the one that I'm keen to do. I've got Ali Sanguiza's is to write that one, and it's a sci-fi horror in the same vein as Alien. That's the feel that I want from that. But this one, so I sit down every now and then. Like, I might sit down and just write a paragraph. I'm just going, okay, come up with a story. So I'll just start writing. So I'll write something, and I wrote this one down, like just a paragraph. It was a couple of lines, really. I sat down maybe 3 or 4 months ago, wrote this, and then and it plays in the back of your mind as you're writing other stuff. But then it kind of was a whirlwind to get this created because just over 3 weeks ago, me and my wife went to the travel agency to see about going to South Africa for 3 or 4 weeks, and what that would entail. Obviously, it entails money, so
a little bit.
And I'm just saying, So I was going, okay, what can I do? What's one of the things that I'm able to do to contribute?
Oh, I kicked Hocky. Hold on, Hocky. Apparently hitting the enter button kicks Hocky. I actually... Hold on. That's so weird. If you click the enter button, it removes the person. That's horrible. Why does it do that? I don't know. I'm sorry. So, okay, you went to the travel agency.
We're traveling. It's SA. We needed money, and I thought, what can I contribute? Well, the only thing I can really contribute is doing some artwork, trying to sell that. Maybe trying to get some money on gigs for artworks, for campaigns and stuff.
Commissions, yeah.
So I'm just going, and I thought about it for a couple of days, and I was going, and I talked to Jason, and I talked to, I think, Plagal as well. And I said, what do you think about me doing a comic within a month's time, 2 months' time? And they're going, tight. Which it is. It's extremely tight. So, but I just going, bugger it. So I just said, I'm going to do it. So, so I worked on some artwork. We were working on the script. 2 weeks later, I put the campaign up for pre-launch. So, so that it was basically 2 weeks for me to get some artwork, and we'll still keep working on the script to and put it up. So it's 2 weeks, and then now it's been just over 3 weeks since I decided to do this. So
yeah, and it's only been up for I think a little over a week. Much.
So what, Thursday week?
Well, yeah.
Week
and the reason why we said it would be tight in a month is it wouldn't be if this was your only job. If this was the only thing, you had no family, like it really wouldn't be. You could easily do a page a day, crank out a 24-page comic. I mean, it's doable. They do it in mainstream all the time. But with the way we do things, very different, and not only because of the way we do them, but because it's not our only job. We have families also on top of working, a full-time job on top of this full-time job. So you can't really crank out a page a day, and if you do, the quality is going to suffer. So we want that high-quality artwork along with great storytelling, and we wanted to get it to you right. So it's nice. It's good that you're not like, I'm just going to do a page a day, because it would not look good.
No.
So we will play the trailer for you have a wonderful teaser trailer. I watched it. I liked it. And let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Okay.
Love it. It's nice. And you did your own trailer, right? That's all you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just whipped that up yesterday. I thought, I'm going to try and have a little teaser trailer for your show. So,
and it's also nice because you're doing the animation, and it's an animatic, so to speak. But of the her walking across and bopping along, and it's cool. You got a quick little animation teaser trailer there, and it's nice. It's a teaser trailer. It gets you a little in depth look as to what the campaign is. Speaking of which, we will do this, and this. So there it is. Finally. So tell us about. Yay.
That's my enthusiasm.
It was dialed up to 15. Let me tell you.
I'm here to please.
I said earlier, I do know you're under the weather, so it's fine.
I'm working with 85%, but we're kicking.
That you don't want to see her at 100. It might be.
Whoa!
So Hocky, tell us about this dress. Now, first off, what made you choose this title? Because it's a little wordy.
Yes, it is pretty wordy. So, Curiosities and Oddities Emporium is the name of the shop she goes into. So, I wanted an ongoing series all centered around this shop. Now, the shop is a backstory. It's a back character. It's not the main character. Jenny will be the main character of this story, but because I want an ongoing series and I want it all to be about stuff purchased within this shop, so I needed something that basically say it's the shop each time. Curiosities and Oddities, the whatever, next time. Right. So that's why it's a little wordy for that. The main part of this one is the dress, because it's all about Jenny, who buys this particular dress in this shop, and everything in the shop, that every story that will come out of this shop will do something to the purchaser. It'll something weird will happen to them, and in this case, Jenny's dress that she buys, she puts it on, and she is teleported through time into the 1920s.
That's the music.
Yeah, exactly. So she gets it on. So the dress itself. So the dress, there's shoes, there's a mask, like a masquerade mask that she puts on. Once she puts on the whole gear, she finds herself in this 1920s jazz hall with all these other people dancing, drinking. Sort of like Prohibition era type stuff. So, and she's just going, what the hell? All of a sudden she was in her apartment and now she's in this other place, obviously bewildered, has no idea what's going on. And through that, she freaks out. she does end up going back to her normal time,
to the present. Yeah.
To the present, and she and sort of is a bit bewildered. Over time, she goes, was that a dream? She tries it again, and she ends up back in the past again. And this time, she's just going, okay, I'm here. So she starts to sort of mingle and has some fun. After some time, though, she wants to learn more about what's happening, and she finds out that there was a murder that happened at that same time near that jazz hall, and she goes, "Well, if this is real, maybe I can stop the murder."
And that's what mystery.
She sets out to do.
So it's in the vein of it's like, because it's a murder mystery, kind of like Agatha Christie type stuff, but also because it's one item per shot, per tale, so it's kind of like an anthology in a way, like Tales from the Crypt would tell one story here, one story there, but it's all set in one book rather than like a 48-page. Here's one story, here's one story, here's one story, all in one book. You're doing different series of them.
Yeah. So I keep saying, and I've mentioned it's like Twilight Zone or Tales from the Crypt. So it's one story set entirely in the pages, and there's no, like, when this story finishes, there's no Jenny story anymore. So like when I'm not doing Jenny again, I'm not doing the dress.
Oh, that's
again.
why Forrest Gump. I get the joke now. It went over my head. Okay. He said, well, I wonder when Forrest Gump makes an appearance, because her name is Jedi, the most beautiful name in the whole wide world. Yeah, it took me a minute. I'm like, Forrest Gump?
What?
And then I'm like, Jenny.
He did kind of. He was a major.
I think that's 50 years before Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Is it?
Because he was in. He went to Vietnam.
He went. Oh,
that's
true. Yeah, all right. We're not here to talk about Forrest Gump,
but
we'll send him the link.
We'll send him the link. Yeah, maybe Forrest wants to come in.
Forrest, come join us.
Yeah, but I mean, I would probably liken it more to maybe Twilight Zone more than Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt was way more like just horror and stuff.
Yes,
Twilight Zone was more of tales of mystery and suspense, but also some horror every now and then.
So I'd liken it to. Some other people have suggested maybe Needful Things by Stephen King.
Yeah, maybe
that, or was it Vault? No, there was a TV show that was on where all these magical items were locked up in this vault, like the Ark of the Covenant and all that.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the show. It was like Vault 36 or something.
Yeah. I think that sounds vaguely familiar. But so would this be then like an kind of like a teenage on up type tale, because you kind of have to, it won't have that bombastical action and stuff like that maybe like a 10-year-old would like, but it's got that in-depth drama that maybe like a teenager would like. Would you consider it that age group?
Yes. So I would say definitely. Because it's focused around a girl buying a dress, it kind of is a bit like that. So you could see that it hopefully could appeal to that younger female audience.
Now, you don't have to be into dresses to like this story. You don't have to be Sugar Chris to like this story, do you?
No. So the dress it's the MacGuffin, basically.
Right.
It's the idea. It's the thing that
moves the story forward. Yeah.
So, say she puts it on and is teleported, but then other things evolve. So that's where
right. We don't want to tell too much because you don't want to spoil the whole thing and people won't back it at that point. So, what do they get if they sign up? What happens if they sign up and they back? What happens? What do they get?
So, I'm going to do a bookmark for it. So the bookmark will actually be a copy of the sign on one side. So it'll be the Curiosities and Oddities Emporium sign that will be above the shop. So it'll be a copy of that. On the back side, I haven't decided yet, but there'll be a few, probably some stuff to link towards the dress and things like that.
Maybe I'm just spitballing here. Maybe like it'll have the storefront sign. You could have like one side says open, the other side says closed.
That's good. That's a good idea. I like
just
it.
Spitballing. Just spitballing. I mean, do what you will.
I like it.
Yeah.
With that, now there'll be other things in the campaign. There's actually stuff I'd really like. Now, this is a black and white comic. So it'll be a color. I'll have a color cover, but black and white interiors. But I had a stretch goal. If I can make it, now it's going to be really high, and I don't expect to get there. But if I reach the stretch goal, I will make it color. So
nice. Yeah. Well, and you'll be coloring it yourself, I'm assuming.
Possibly, yeah. I can't really afford to get someone else to color it, so
right. And the link for Hocky's Twitter is in the description. So, but you could see some of his colored work, I'm sure, on his Twitter feed. He does great colors. So, it'll be competently colored. Yeah. I've seen his work. It's very good.
And I have toyed with the idea too. So, like, I mean, I'm going to be my initial thing will be pretty low, maybe 5,000 Australian to try and get to my my goal. That's
like $20, Hockey.
Once I figure it all out, I'm hoping to try and keep it low for my just to cover all the costs that I need to.
Right.
But my other stretch goals will be that stretch goal for color. That might be 20,000 because I'm never going to get it.
It is, it is very expensive to do colored, print off colored comics over black and white. Absolute was black and white. I looked into colored, it like triples the price almost. So it's crazy how much the colored costs. And that's why, but with this though, I would actually, if this hits that colored stretch goal, you may even want to consider doing a black and white and a colored version, just because this is suited for black and white. Like it is. So.
I think the only thing that maybe it'd be kind of cool if I had a splash of color, maybe just for the dress or so, I don't know.
Spot color, yeah.
Color for certain things, but I'll have a really high stretch goal for color.
It'll be
I have also toyed with the idea. I will say now, I have toyed with the idea that even another stretch goal that's even way higher. That if we reach it, I do an additional comic. So.
Wow, I was gonna say you're not gonna put on a dress too, are you? That's Sugar Chris's job. I'm sure you have. Would that be like another item then in the shop, like the thumbnail or something?
If we reach the stretch goal, everyone will get another comic. So,
do you know what the story is gonna be?
A new story. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So be like another. Yeah, so be like the.
I'm saying when high, I'm saying $40,000 or $50,000.
Well, yeah, so. I mean, you want to do a whole new book. It's understandable. Yeah. And then in that regard, though, it might also push back the shipping date. So, and I think people would understand, but as long as you keep them updated. So everybody, we're not closing out yet, but the link for this is pinned to the chat as up top. So click that and sign up, please. Share it out. Also, it's in the description below. What's going on, Eric? How you doing, man? Everybody, make sure you sign up.
That's a big stretch goal.
It's a big stretch goal.
Honestly, if I can make 5,000, I'm just going. I'd be bewildered. That's, and I'm hoping to have, because I know a lot of people like Jim's in the chat here. He likes upgrades to the comic. He doesn't like all the little bits and pieces that you get. He'd rather just go on better quality paper or more story. Yeah. So. That's what I like as well. I was going, I've got all this, which it's nice. Oh, I get this little exciting thing, but then I put it in a box and I never see it again.
Right. That's why I like stickers. I kind of just plop them on things. I'm like, that's good.
So,
but yeah,
so I like that same vein. It's going, well, what if I can get more story? This story that I've got so far, I can't stretch it out any longer than the 24 pages. It's kind of contained within that. And if I did, it's going to be saddle stitched. So
nice.
Which means it's got a stapler through it.
Right.
So I'm going to be. If I did more, I'd have to put 4 more pages in, and I don't think I could stretch it to 28 pages long. So
yeah, I mean, I heard the breakdowns of it, and I think 24. I don't think you want to extend it too much. It might get a
it'll
little
get
too
24.
You don't want to force it. You want the story to be organic and natural and actually make sense. So
exactly. And it flows pretty well. And I just say
I was just gonna say, it's not
Sorry.
like you could add in like people fist punching each other. So
exactly.
You can't add in just more action sequences or something.
No, there's so that, and that's why I hope that people will enjoy it, because it's not what you look at other people's kind of like Joe Sontag. He's got this action comic that's so this is not an action, so that might turn a lot of people off. Well, I just hope they're kind of some people who will be interested in a bit of a thriller, bit of mystery.
Right. Well, there's plenty of people who aren't into superheroes. They just aren't. They don't collect those superhero stories. And this is a drama. You know what I mean? This is a tale of suspense and mystery. So people are into that kind of stuff. So it's you're targeting a specific market, and that's what movies do. That like I don't go see Aliens if I want to see a comedy. I mean, granted, I do laugh sometimes, but I don't go watch it just for what I mean. Like you're picking a target audience. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And actually that'll probably get you the backers that you really want, and that'll be totally interested in it, and they're going to be engaged and come back for more of your content because like, oh, he can tell a story that isn't just wham bam think sock 'em rock 'em robots or something. Like this is actually intriguing. And it's got character, it's got development, it's got relatability in a way. Like I can actually empathize with this person, so it's something a little different, and people will be into it a little bit more than maybe just like, oh yay, they Thor, they pick up the hammer, they smash, and then they're the heroes, they save the day.
Yeah.
Woo!
Which is nothing wrong with that smashy, but I my brain works a little differently, so I'm just going, no, I want to do something odd. So
well, you're a dapper gentleman, so I wouldn't expect anything less than that. But then too, I was just thinking that people will just buy it because it's you're with Comicsgate, so people will just support the book because even though it may not be like a superhero book or like as you mentioned Joe Sontag, they'll like it because hey, you're a CG and they want to support you.
Some people.
So
there's
and I mean I like it all, so I'm gonna Joe Sontag book and your book. So everyone has their
Thank
thing.
you. I say like it should be, and I'll pass it through people's eyes before anything anyway. So my wife will be doing editing for me. So she has actually done a long time ago. She's actually studied to be a writer and editor. So she's actually has some chops in that. So I'll give it to her to edit for me. But she's not so much has the eyes for comics and such. So I'll probably pass it on to Jason and to Billy and such, just to get you guys' opinions as well. Just to help me, especially Jason, who has 2 books out, nearly a third, which is very exciting. So so wonderful people like this to help me out. And,
I mean, well, and everybody knows I back art, and mainly because of the interior, and I like your artwork. So I mean, I was actually #1 sign up on this campaign. Ha! That's because I was backstage when he launched it, but still, technicalities. But
exactly, actually, I think he signed up before I even hit the publish button. So
I don't know how. Yeah, I think me and Plagle or Billy. It was
Plagle.
Yeah, Plagle. Yeah. So it was awesome. I've never been #1 on anything. No, I'm just kidding. I was #1 backer on Tropical Magic's Pedro Hank's book, which is now on Kickstarter, by the way. But yeah, so I mean, I like the fact that it's a different concept. There are Allie has Egg Beater. That's a horror book. It's not a superhero book. This is another one that's going to be kind of out there. That's not really superhero. You have a lot of stuff like not just superhero, but also like robots or what's going on, man? Good to see you, Luke. So that's what I love about this indie scene though, and Comicsgate as well. Like we there's so many different genres, and styles, and it's kind of like how Dark Horse and Image used to be, and how the independent scene used to be, even how Marvel used to be. Marvel used to have different styles. Like you could pick up a Jim Lee book, but then also a Sam Keith book. I mean, those are just 2 hours off the top of my head, but also the stories will be very different, and the art will be different, and you can kind of get your fill. It's not, this indie scene isn't cookie cutter like a lot of the mainstream has become. It's like, oh look, I like drama, so I'm gonna pick this up. But I also like a little bit of Superman stuff. We got that covered too. So it's great, and it. I know sometimes the books can cost a little much, but there's reasons for it. We're doing it all ourselves. We're promoting ourselves. We're printing ourselves. Hocky's doing all this by himself. The more people who sign up, by the way, when you sign up, make sure you confirm it. It'll send you an email. Click that, you confirm it. That way you can be verified and you can get your secret perks and get your bookmarks when you back. And is that how you're going to do this then? When you do your campaign, you're going to do a secret perk, send it out to the mailing list people?
So I still haven't figured out what's going to go in the campaign yet. Yeah, there probably will be a secret perk. Okay. So keep an eye out. I'm not sure what it will be. I've got to talk to wonderful people who've done this before to help me, because this is my first one. At the moment, my focus is on trying to make sure that the story is coherent. So and the pictures are going to be are going to look well enough to tell the story. So I don't know if you get. I've hidden some. There's a couple of things in that picture where Jenny's walking across the shop that are from different movies. So
oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Well, when you watch the trailer, you could pause it and maybe look. You get a little
there is, and then there are 2 hints in there for 2 more stories.
Nice.
That I've got ideas for, that are in the window as well. There's only a handful of stuff in that window at this stage. So, but you can probably see one in particular, which is a mask, certain mask there. That mask. So.
Nice. I see 2 masks.
Yes, there's a certain mask there that people might recognize.
Curiosities and Oddities Emporium, the COVID. Just kidding.
So let's say future stuff will be the same thing.
No, I like that you hit them, because also this is then the first appearance of them. You know what I mean? Some people do like to get the little teasers and stuff.
Yeah. So
how long are you going to have the pre-launch up?
The goal. So I'm actually going to go to South Africa in May, and I'm hoping when I get back, the end of May or early June that's what I'm hoping. Is to get it up by then. Now, it really depends if I've got enough artwork that I can put onto the campaign. If I can get all the artwork done by then, woohoo! But let's say if not, that's the goals is at this stage for we'll say early June, and then I will make the whole campaign a year's length, so to give myself a full year, but always with the goal to try and get out earlier. So
awesome.
Yeah. So fingers crossed. So.
Well, like I said, I mean, I've offered my assistance for anything like artwork or advice or whatever you may want. I'm at your disposal. You know that we work together. You've done stuff for my campaign, so I kind of do owe you anyway. It's like yeah. So and there's other artists that you're friends with that may also, they're more than willing to help out in any regard that they may, they can. So do you have any questions for the great Hocky, Angela?
Yeah,
I've learned so much.
I can't give away too much of the story. There is some mystery in it, so
I'm always down for a good mystery.
Yeah, so there's some things, maybe some twists. I like twists. The one that I'm getting Ali to write for me has a twist in it, which and I'm just so I kind of wanted to get out there before I did that one as well. just to lay some groundwork, so to speak, to have a comic and say, okay, if you did enjoy that, maybe you'll enjoy this other stuff. My space one will be a lot different. It will be more horror based, but and it will be a complete story as well. But I said that may be a few years down the track. I have no idea. So when that one will be. So this, in the meantime, this is I really, I don't know why I did that. I really like the I really like this idea of these little short stories about items, about these little weird things that happen to people. I just love the.
It's
love
tales
that.
of intrigue. It's nice. I like
it. Yeah. So I don't want to say what the next ones will be at this stage, but they will be something weird. Someone will buy an item, something weird will happen, and it's and they may change up too. So this one has a little bit of mystery into it, but one of them may be an action, one of them may be a horror. So they're not all going to be the same genre, same type of story, but they all sort of have that center around crazy things happening when they.
Is it all going to be based in this store, or is it going to be like a different type of shop at a different time or whatever?
No, so it will be the shop now. At this stage, the shop may be in the same place all the time. Maybe it won't be.
No, this is fascinating.
And eventually, something may get revealed about the shop itself, but that could be many books down the track. So
I love this concept. Yeah. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great concept. I like it.
And then, it's if I could go back to a time, I always was like, it'd be cool to go back to the 1920s. So I love that too.
It's an interesting. Well, I like the dress that they have from one of my. Actually, it's kind of weird because one of my favorite eras is for especially for clothing and for style is the Gothic Victorian era. With the gaslight and horse and carts. And, I'm just the Jack the Ripper and the vampires and all that. It's this Gothic, beautiful.
We don't like Jack the Ripper. We like that style, is what we're saying.
Like, that era is Sherlock Holmes. I really
I like that Victorian era, that higher dress stuff. Even if you were poor, you kind of looked nice still. Like,
everybody dressed up.
Yeah,
and I would love to be able to do a story set in that time.
Well, with this you can.
I eventually I probably will come up with a story that is set in that time, and because I just love the look, and I think that trying to do cobblestone streets and horses and carts, I'm going, oh my gosh, it would be a lot of work, and I don't think my skill is ready to do that yet. There's going to be a few things in this one itself that 1920s Art Deco. You're just thinking, and the
I love Art Deco too.
The dresses and the a lot of things like that I'm going to have to incorporate into this story, which is really going to push me. But I won't say I'm a full-on perfectionist, but I'll look at it going,
kind of are.
If I don't get it right, I'll be really annoyed. So.
I can vouch for that. But yeah, awesome. Any other? Does the chat have any questions for Hocky or?
Some person made a good point, and then just regarding the title. It says like the name Curiosities and Oddities.
Changing the end to an end.
Changing it to the end symbol. But yeah.
I may do that. So I'm waiting to see. I'm actually thinking I might throw it at Matt Barr to do some designs for me. So he doesn't know that yet.
If he's available. Yeah. We all love Matt Barr.
If he's
available, he's a very, very, very busy man. I mean, if you change it to like oddities in emporiums and whatever, it only really shortens it by one character if you add that apostrophe thing into it. So I mean, you can. It's not a bad idea.
But it may look nice.
It may look, better. Aesthetically is what you're looking at. The character wise, like it's still almost the same.
Some person did ask too earlier about who's the colorist. At this stage, it's black and white. So,
but it would be Hocky if it gets colored.
Yeah,
so,
but if it does get colored, it'd probably be me. So, hey, Joseph Dredd.
Hey, Joseph Dredd, what's going on? Make sure you sign up, everybody. Link is pinned to the top of the chat as well as in the description below. Angela Curry's information is on Twitter in the chat in the description down below as well as Frog G. Everybody go back Frog G. Woo-hoo. Link it below. We're trucking along. I'm inking pages. I think it's about color and stuff. So Absolute trade will be coming soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Hopefully in a couple weeks I'll have that up. Nice. So if you missed out on Absolute, you can get the full story plus some little extras in it. Everybody go sign up and let me see if I can't find the exit thing. Hocky, any last words? We're not going to kill you, but we're just ending the stream.
I just want to say thank you to everyone. I know I've been around for not a long time, maybe a couple of years, but I just really appreciate everyone that's been here. Some of Alex BRB has been a big supporter of mine.
Alex
bought a bunch of artworks from me too, and so people like that, and everyone actually who's sharing my links or sharing, links from Jason's stuff or anyone's stuff, or just being there and chatting. Like everyone here, what a wonderful thing to have you people join us. Like we got 7 people watching.
People have been in and out too, so there have been quite a few more. So
it's been a good one, Hocky. It's been a good one. Yeah, so it's been a good turnout. Thank you, everybody, for
really
tuning in. I didn't mean to cut you off, Hocky. Go ahead.
Yeah. I will be back videoing, doing streams. I will have someone asked about, I think it was Hen. Hen asked if I was doing Pencils at Dawn. Yes, I will. I'll be doing Pencils at Dawn again this week. So
you have Odin Odasco of Unconditional Shove on, right?
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, Odin Odasco is going to come on to this week.
So
I'm also hoping to do more streams, like daily streams of just me drawing. So we'll see.
Yeah, Hocky's YouTube is pinned.
And you have you just had a milestone in subscribers, didn't you? Was it 100 or something?
200.
Yeah, I reached
200.
200 a little while ago. So
dare me say 100?
How dare
you?
No, Angela.
That's awesome.
You're fired.
So, I set the bar higher, or you set the bar higher, so it's all good.
No, which is great. And I love all the people that come over and such. I love the drawing with all these wonderful people. So, and just seeing, it's just a bit of fun. I just like to have fun and do silly stuff. I'm a big fan of the challenge.
Made.
Yes. So I like to do these weird challenges like that. Yeah. So
it's fun. I've been on it. It's a lot of fun. It's a great challenge. Yeah. Everybody subscribe to Hocky. If you're watching on the replay, his YouTube is down below. And if you're not subscribed watching live, do it now. Click and take you over there, and you can hit the little sub button, hit the bell for notifications. That way you'll know when he goes live, or just uploads a short, which he's prone to do. So wonderful, great. I'm looking forward to the book. What do you mean? Oh, what are we doing?
Billy just showed up. Billy Basco's here to say hey.
Billy Basco now.
Billy, we just sang your praises.
I was just saying we said his name three times. That might be why he's in here. So.
We were singing your praises, Billy. Thank you for tuning in, man.
Thanks
on
everyone.
a Sunday, nonetheless.
Just came in, but thank you, ladies, for coming.
Maybe they've been lurking. They're just commenting because we're ending out. So everybody like, share, subscribe. By the way, blah blah. Awesome. And Angela, do you have any parting words as well?
Oh no, this has been fun. I'm just so glad I got to be a part of it. So
of course,
it's like a great book.
Thank you for co-hosting, Angela. I appreciate it because I can't see any of that stuff. So, thank you.
Happy to help.
And, have a great. Everyone, go over to Aaron Lepresti. He's live now. We love Aaron here. Support Aaron Lepresti. We love Shelly and Aaron and everyone over there. And we'll check you all later. Have a great one, everybody.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Long day kill